the silent revolution of women who choose themselves. Have you ever stopped to wonder about those women, the ones who live alone, unattached, seemingly untouched by society's expectations? No boyfriend, no partner, not even a hint that they're searching for one. At first glance, some might dismiss them as lonely or disinterested. Others may assume they've simply given up on love altogether. But what if their solitude isn't born out of despair, but something far greater, something so profound, so unsettling, that it challenges everything we've been taught about relationships, femininity, and emotional fulfillment? The truth behind these women doesn't lie in heartbreak, lack of options, or fear of commitment. It's rooted in something deeper, a quiet rebellion against societal norms, a radical act of self-discovery, and a choice to embrace freedom over convention. When a woman chooses to be alone, she isn't losing herself, she's finding herself. And this journey doesn't come with applause, validation, or external approval. It comes with silence, strength, and a kind of liberation most people still struggle to comprehend. No, she's not lonely. She's selective. She's not cold. She just got tired of burning for people who never wanted to feel her warmth. There's something profoundly threatening about a woman who doesn't need a relationship to feel whole. Why? Because it shatters the logic of control, dismantles the myth of emotional dependency, and exposes a brutal truth. Most men don't know how to handle a woman who doesn't need saving. And many women are only beginning to recognize themselves in the mirror of such power. HENG once said, "Everything we deny within ourselves becomes part of our shadow." These women living alone aren't running from life, they're confronting their shadows head-on. They embody what so many dream of becoming but few have the courage to pursue. Their choices aren't loud declarations, they're whispered acts of defiance. They don't put themselves on display to attract attention, they retreat to preserve their essence. They're less interested in charming princes and more focused on cultivating their own peace. And that makes others uncomfortable because, in a world obsessed with urgency to find someone, anyone, they've discovered the unparalleled power of being with themselves. Expanding on the core themes, let's talk about why this path feels so foreign to so many. Society has conditioned us to believe that happiness lies in partnership. From fairy tales to Hollywood romances, the narrative is clear: you are incomplete until you find the one. This belief runs so deep that when a woman steps outside of it, refusing to conform to the conventional timeline or expectations, she sparks confusion, judgment, and sometimes outright hostility. People label her as difficult, distant, or arrogant. Yet, what they fail to see is that behind her apparent absence is a presence that transcends the ordinary, a force that challenges the emotional status quo. For centuries, women have been told that their worth is tied to their ability to attract, nurture, and sustain relationships. To exist without a partner has often been seen as failure, a flaw, or worse, an anomaly. But these women aren't anomalies. They're pioneers, carving out new paths in a landscape that still clings to outdated rules. They've realized that wholeness doesn't come from another person, it comes from within. And once you've tasted that kind of self-love, there's no going back. But let's be honest, this awakening doesn't happen overnight. For most of these women, it's the result of years or even decades of navigating pain, disappointment, and betrayal. They've loved too hard, given too much, and begged for crumbs that were never meant to satisfy. Somewhere along the way, they woke up. Not all at once, but gradually, through a series of lessons learned the hard way. Each heartbreak became a teacher. Each rejection revealed a deeper truth. And each moment of clarity brought them closer to understanding who they truly are. This process isn't easy. It requires facing the ghosts of your past, the childhood wounds, the unspoken abandonments, the attachments disguised as love. It means stripping away the masks you wore to please others and rebuilding yourself piece by piece. Many women reach a breaking point, a moment when something inside them snaps. And paradoxically, it's precisely that break that sets them free. Sometimes only in collapse does the soul find its new form. HENG reminds us that growth demands descent. Just like a tree whose roots must reach deep into the earth before it can grow tall toward the sky, these women have descended into the depths of their own stories. They've confronted ancestral fears, inherited traumas, and cycles of toxicity passed down through generations. They've broken free from patterns that once defined them, saying no to relationships that repeated the same damaging scripts. In doing so, they've reclaimed their power not just for themselves, but for every woman who dares to follow in their footsteps. exploring emotional maturity and authenticity. What sets these women apart isn't just their decision to live alone, it's the emotional maturity they exude. Maturity scares people because it demands presence, depth, and truth. It rejects superficial connections in favor of soul-level bonds. These women aren't looking for distractions, they're seeking substance. They want reciprocity, not empty promises. They crave real presence, not rehearsed performances. And that makes them intimidating to those who haven't yet done their own inner work. Because here's the thing, loving a woman like this requires responsibility. It demands vulnerability, awareness, and the willingness to show up fully. Too often, people mistake love for possession, fear, or obligation. But real love, the kind these women seek, is liberating. It adds rather than consumes. It supports without suffocating. Until that kind of love arrives, these women choose to remain alone, not out of pride, but out of integrity. Their transformation isn't superficial, it's archetypal. It's as if they've tapped into an ancient wisdom, a primal memory that reminds them of their true purpose. Women weren't born to serve, they were born to express. They weren't meant to shrink, they were meant to overflow. By accessing this memory, they awaken a wild, intuitive sovereignty within themselves. Though physically alone, they are far from lost. They're in communion with something greater, their own destiny. The sacredness of solitude. There's something sacred about the way these women move through the world. They don't seek applause or public validation. Their confidence is quiet, steady, and unwavering. In their silence lies their true strength. They nourish themselves with introspection, warm themselves with their own presence, and protect their energy fiercely. They open their hearts, but only to those who come in truth, not with rehearsed speeches or hollow promises. Their intuition has become razor sharp, their energy a filter that screens out what lacks depth. They can sense from afar whether someone is offering genuine connection or merely performing. And when they walk away, it's not out of bitterness or anger, it's out of self-respect. Every no they give is an act of self-preservation. Every boundary they set is a reminder that love should never be begged for. A new archetype of womanhood. We are witnessing the emergence of a new archetype of womanhood, a woman who has walked away from the superficial and dived into the depths. She got tired of being desired and chose to be respected instead. Her decision to live alone isn't a rejection of love, it's an embrace of real love. Real love never demands self-denial. Real love celebrates individuality. Real love allows both partners to grow side by side without dimming their colors, silencing their pain, or shrinking their dreams. When a woman understands this, her entire world shifts. She no longer needs to raise her voice to be heard, her presence speaks volumes. Wherever she goes, the energy shifts subtly but unmistakably. This isn't mysticism, it's the weight of someone who has faced the most brutal inner wars and chosen to return in peace. She hasn't conquered all her fears, but she's learned to live alongside them without being defeated. HENG, you would say she's found wholeness not by eliminating opposites, but by integrating them. She doesn't reject love. She's simply learned not to submit to unbalanced relationships where one must dim so the other can shine. She longs to love, but in a love where her essence doesn't need to be edited. A love where she can be both shadow and light, laughter and tears, silence and storm. Because she knows that those who only love the pretty parts haven't yet understood what love truly is. Those who demand constant sweetness haven't grasped the beauty of bitterness, the very thing necessary for growth. Call to action. If something inside you stirred while listening to this story, perhaps it's because deep down you're ready for a new kind of love, a love that begins with reconciliation with yourself, a love that feeds on silence, presence, and truth, a love that cannot be negotiated, begged for, or disguised. And if that love hasn't come yet, maybe it's because you first needed to become the woman who no longer accepts less than she deserves. So I invite you to take a step today, not just for yourself, but for every woman waking up to her own strength. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Comment below and tell me, what does solitude mean to you? How has your journey towards self-love transformed the way you relate to others and to yourself? Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and join a community of women committed to rewriting the narrative around love, independence, and empowerment. Because when something touches the soul, the least we can do is let it keep resonating within us and through us. Together, let's create a world where women don't have to choose between love and freedom. Let's build a future where being alone isn't seen as a punishment, but as a vow of loyalty to one's own soul. Are you ready to take that step? Let's begin now.